Ala Rasulillah. There we go. Bismillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Wa salatu wa salam ala Sayyidina wa Nabiyana wa Maulana Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى يا رب العالمين. اللهم إنا نسألك حبك وحب من يحبك وحب عمل يقربنا إلى حبك. Alhamdulillah, thanks for having me in the windy city. It's warm. I'm very happy it's warm. Alhamdulillah. Hope it stays that way till I go back to Dallas, inshallah. No, all jokes aside, this is my first time being at Dar es-Salaam, and mashallah, you know, we don't realize the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us. Many times, you know, the scholars say that the darkest place is the place right under the candle, you know? The darkest place is the place right under the candle. The candle shines light all over the country, all over the room. But the area that's right adjacent to the candle is the area that is dark sometimes. The reason I'm telling you is that, you know, you're sitting at a candle that's giving light to the whole country, giving that divine inspiration, that divine light. Make sure you step in the light. Don't sit in the shade. Sometimes being too close, you don't realize what you have. So I just want to remind myself and remind everyone to benefit from this weekend of suhbah. Suhbah is the greatest blessing in Islam. The greatest blessing is suhbah, companionship. And that's something I'm going to talk to you about this evening, inshallah ta'ala. And I'm sure all of us have heard over and over again that the primary fadila that the Sahaba were given, they weren't called Hafiz Abu Bakr and Maulana such and such, they were called a Sahabi just because of the one that they kept presence with. Just because of the one they kept presence with, because the hearts joined together. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, وَاعْتَسِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا وَاذْكُرُوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ إِذْ كُنْتُمْ أَعْدَاءً فَأَلَّفَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِكُمْ فَأَصْبَحْتُمْ بِنِعْمَتِهِ إِخْوَانًا. Our respected elders have given me the topic of talking about something which is extremely important, being Muslim Americans. It's the brotherhood that unites us. We've all heard of all of the hadith that talk about the importance of us being together, but many times that's not realized in our communities. I'll share a personal incident. You know, I went to an all-white high school before I accepted Islam. So I was the only black kid. And as I was going into school, I kind of had the impression that, you know, I'm going to be the only black dude in the school. It's going to feel kind of weird. You know, all of these white kids, I'm going to stick out. I'm going to feel weird. I had one impression. But the moment I got into that environment, I realized something. And that same realization I realized when I came into Islam too. When I went in, the thought was that I'm black, everybody else is white, and I'm going to be different. But you know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, تَحْسَبُهُمْ جَمِيعًا وَقُلُوبُهُمْ شَتَّى. Allah says regarding the disbelievers that were fighting against the Prophet ﷺ, that you think all of their hearts are together. They look like they're together, but قُلُوبُهُمْ شَتَّى. But their hearts are all dispersed. They're all on different things. So when I went in, I realized that, yeah, they all looked white. But once I was in that environment, I realized, oh, a WAP is something different than a Polak. Right? And I start to hear this kind of like, oh, he's this, he's that. And I'm like, well, you're all white to me. But when you're in that environment, you're like, oh, okay, so y'all don't roll with y'all. Okay, I get it. So I'm no longer just the minority, because تَحْسَبُهُمْ جَمِيعًا وَقُلُوبُهُمْ شَتَّى. All on different things. So the interesting thing is, you know, a convert walks in the masjid, تَحْسَبُهُمْ, we won't read the verse that is for the kuffar on the Muslims, but the similar thing is there. You realize that, oh, he's from this gown. He's from Surat, right? If I say it correctly. He's from, what is it, Buruj? Yeah, right there, like, yeah, those dudes over there. Yeah, him over there. Right, you get inside and you're like, whoa, hold on. Oh yeah, you're both from the same Sumal. You both from the same Ethiopia. No, but my clan don't roll with his clan. SubhanAllah. So it's really important for us to have this conversation, because the Prophet ﷺ, he said in a hadith that we all know very well, you won't enter Jannah until what? Till you love one another. Till you love one another. And in the verse that I just read, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is speaking about this blessing. وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِالْحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. The main thing we need to understand as a community is that we cannot survive as individuals in this society. Our iman won't thrive. We need one another. We have to work together. وَاذْكُرُوا إِذْ كُنْتُمْ أَعْدَاءً. Talking about who? Aus and Khazraj. See, understand this. In order for iman to grow, brothers and sisters, there has to be an environment conducive to that growth. And that brotherhood is what's necessary. So let's look at this very closely. One of the first things that the Prophet ﷺ does when he arrives in Medina is what? Most of us know about the establishment of the masjid. But the masjid won't survive by itself. It needs an environment within which it can grow and thrive. So what's the second or first thing that the Prophet ﷺ does in Medina? He establishes that brotherhood. Now understand this. The people who were in Medina before were at war for generations. They were at each other's throats for things that were forgotten many generations back. One person hurt someone, another person came back, and now the war is still going, but we don't even know why we're fighting anymore. But amongst those people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَأَلَّفَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِهِمْ. Through the blessing of Islam, through the suhbah of the Prophet ﷺ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed these people with one of His greatest blessings. فَأَصْبَحْتُمْ بِنِعْمَتِهِ إِخْوَانًا. فَأَصْبَحْتُمْ بِنِعْمَتِهِ إِخْوَانًا. By the blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He blessed you and gave you what? Brotherhood amongst one another. So the point I'm saying here is that we need to recognize that this blessing of brotherhood is something that has been slipping from our communities because of the minor differences in fiqh issues, in awlawiyah, something better than this. My teacher says that, your teacher says this Facebook personality over that Facebook personality. Community has been very, very shatta. You know Imam Ghazali rahimahullah ta'ala. Imam Ghazali rahimahullah in Ihya Ulumuddin, which is something all of us should, be studying. It's a blessing. It's one of the mu'jiz, it's one of the karamas of our ulama, Ihya Ulumuddin. Amazing, amazing. And Shaykh Ahmed Bamba rahimahullah, he wrote the entire Ihya Munaddam in a poem called Misalik al-Jinan. The whole Ihya, Shaykh Ahmed Bamba. From where? Who knows where he's from? Senegal, mashallah. He wrote the entire Ihya in a poem. The whole thing. Khair. And he has a section where he talks about ukhuwa. He has a section where he talks about this blessing of ukhuwa. And I'm going to go through some of what he says in this with you, with the point that we take away and understand that whatever blessing Allah has given us, it has hukuk. It has rights. The family you have, the wife and children you have, they have hukuk on you, right? The wealth you have, it has a hukuk on you. The knowledge that you are learning as tullab, it has a hukuk on, it has haqq on you. There's a mas'uliyah, you'll be questioned. And our responsibility before Allah is based on whether we know the hukuk of the blessings that Allah has given us, and whether we have fulfilled the hukuk of those blessings which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us. So this major blessing that we're talking about tonight is the blessing of ukhuwa, or brotherhood, or the lack thereof that is in our masajid across the country. Chicago is no exclusion. Every major city in America has this problem. And before I digress into this, if we could look at one blessing of September 11th, one blessing. I know some of the shabab, they're too young, they weren't even like 3rd grade. I was talking to my class, I teach at Qalam, as he said, and I was talking to Tullab, so I was like, where were you on September 11th? They were like, Shaykh, we were in 3rd grade. I was like, yo, I'm getting old, man, subhanAllah. I was like, yo, we were in 3rd grade. I was like, whoa, that feels kind of weird. Khair, but the blessing, I was speaking about, we were talking about this blessing of ukhuwa, brotherhood, and knowing the rights of it, and recognizing, learning those rights so that we're able to fulfill them. Khair, so Imam Ghazali rahimahullah ta'ala, he explains that what are the causes of love? What are the causes of love between two people? He says there are external causes of love. There are external things that make you love one another. Why are we talking about this? Because the basis of brotherhood in Islam is based on that love. The hadith that says, Al-mu'minuna karajulun wa'id, that hadith that if your brother is going through a hardship, that you should be disturbed, not able to sleep because of that hardship, that's based on love. Because here's the deal. If your mother was going through that hardship, if your father was going through that hardship, if your son was going through that hardship, wallahi, you wouldn't get any sleep. But ya akhi Abdullah from the masjid who we see, he's having a musibah, everyone make dua for him, and I sleep perfectly fine. The hadith says that when one udhu hurts, tada'a sa'irul jasad, the rest of the body reacts to that. It can't sleep. So the reason we don't have that reaction is a lack of love therein. So Imam Ghazali rahimahullah, he says that first and foremost when it comes to love, there are external asbab. Oh, one more thing, I'm sorry. I see one brother taking notes. I see one, mashallah, talib. Now I'm at an institution of learning. I'm at an institution of learning. And when students of knowledge or scholars would drop gems, you should be there grabbing those. Not because of me, it's not me, right? It's about what we're transferring here. It's about what we're, Imam Shafi rahimahullah, I'll give you an example real quick, and I won't digress on this too long. When I was in Damascus, in Jamia Abu Nur, the masjid would be double this size and full when Shaykh Rajab Deeb would come to give a dars. The moment Shaykh Rajab Deeb would say one hadith, wallahi, everyone's head would go down, and everyone in the entire masjid, حتى يعني الطفل صغير يعني يكتب. Why? Because al-kitaba, when you write things down, you preserve that, you remember that, you hold that dearer to yourself. So if you got iPhones, you got smartphones, you're recording it, whatever. But you should, throughout this weekend, I'm not speaking for my lecture right now. I'm speaking about this weekend when you'll have scholar after scholar coming to your candle to drop some knowledge. Take from that, benefit from that as much as you can, and hold on to it. So Imam Ghazali rahimahullah, let's get back to this inshallah. Imam Ghazali rahimahullah, he says that there are external causes of love for the community, external, love for one another. Then you see someone beautiful, you love their knowledge, you love their influence, you love how they look, you love the benefit they give you and somehow. But Imam Ghazali says, but in reality there's something even deeper within us. He says there's a batin, there's a deeper cause of love between us, and he bases it off of a sahih hadith of the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. With the Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said in a hadith, قال الأرواح جنود مجندة فما تعارف منها اتلف وما تناكر منها اختلف. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, al-arwah, that the souls of humanity, before they came into this world, they were put in different squadrons, different groups. And one of the Salaf, he said, when the souls were doing tawaf around the arsh, each soul was in a different saf. And if whatever saf that you were in, those souls that were doing tawaf with you, it telefa. You have a natural inclination to those people. The Rasul ﷺ is ajib. Before we were sent to this world, al-arwah junud mujannada, that all of the souls of Bani Adam were put into different squadrons, right? Like group A, group B, in different groups. Those souls that recognize each other, they were grouped together. They have an affinity with one another, a unsiya, you could say, a familiarity with one another. They pull close to one another. وَمَا تَنَاكَرَ مِنْهَا اِخْتَلَفَ. And then the Rasul ﷺ, he said, in the same time, if you were placed in a different group from another soul, then when you meet in this world, your souls don't necessarily click. اختلف. You don't get that familiarity. And I felt this the strongest with one brother I met in Buffalo. One of the African American elders in Buffalo. He's now in Baltimore. And I had just become Muslim, but when I met him the first day, wallahi, I felt like I know you. I know you from somewhere. But wallahi, I never met him before. And alhamdulillah, we're still very tight till today. You know, and Imam Ghazali, he narrates that this has power. This is a very, very powerful thing, this batini connection that brings us together. And he narrates that the Rasul ﷺ, he said, now look at the power of this celestial connection between us. This is narrated in Ihya Ulumuddin by Imam Ghazali. He says, لو أن مؤمنا دخل إلى مجلس فيه 100 منافق واحد مؤمن لجاء حتى يجلس إليه ولو أن منافق دخل في مجلس فيه 100 مؤمن ومنافق واحد لجاء حتى يجلس إليه. عجيب. The Rasul ﷺ in this hadith, he says, this is the power of that divine grouping that happened before the souls were imparted to the world, this realm. That the Rasul ﷺ said, if there's a gathering of 100 believers, 100 believers in a gathering, and one munafiq in that gathering, and a munafiq walks in the door, the Rasul ﷺ said, لَجَعَ حَتَّى يَجْلَسْ إِلَيْهِ. He'll come sit right next to him. Don't even know why he's sitting there. Then Rasul ﷺ, he said, if there's a gathering of 100 munafiq and one mu'min walks in the door, لَجَعَ حَتَّى يَجْلَسَ إِلَيْهِ. And subhanAllah, Imam Ghazali, he says that the ulama from this, they deduce that يَدُلُّ عَلَىٰ أَنَّ شُبْهَ الشَّيْء مُنْجَذِبٌ. Like when there's that familiarity, it pulls us close together. You know, Imam Ghazali, he narrates a funny story. He said he saw one time, you know, because the hayawanat, they have a similar, you know, liking to human beings in many ways. There's verses that talk about that. So he said that one time you could take lessons from them. Allah tells us to look at the creation and take lessons. So, and one narration, he says that there was a crow that he noticed with a pigeon. And they were sitting together. And he's thinking, you know, birds of a feather flock together. What's going on here? And Imam Ghazali brings this in this chapter. And then he says, when the birds both stood up to kind of walk forward, both of them had a hurt leg. Both of them had, so he said, subhanallah, shubha shay munjadib. The connections of two things, maybe the external wasn't connected, but they were connected on a deeper level. They came together. Now this level for brotherhood, Imam Ghazali said this is from the asrar of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is from the secrets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's no way for us to know. But what is the benefit we get from this? The benefit from this, brothers and sisters, is that you can know yourself by the company you're attracted to. You want to know about yourself? Look at those places that you find yourself attracted to being in that company. Tells you a lot. Tells you a lot because of this hadith here. So, subhanAllah, this just a beautiful, beautiful aspect about that deep love that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put inside us. So coming back to brotherhood and this love that needs to be built in the community. The Rasul ﷺ did whatever he could inside of Medina to stop all separation and fractioning within the community. One of the situations that happened that just kind of gives us a understanding of this is that it's a funny story that took place. It's narrated in Sahih Muslim by Jabir bin Abdullah radiyallahu ta'ala an. And I'm narrating this hadith for us because I want us to understand how much Rasulullah ﷺ wanted to preserve the brotherhood within the community in Medina. The hadith says, Jabir bin Abdullah radiyallahu ta'ala, he says, قال كعس رجل من المهاجرين رجلا من الأنصار. So, Sahaba were just like us, in the sense that they were human beings. They played around, they joked. So one of the Muhajirun, Ka'asa, Tulabul Ilm. What is Ka'asa? Where's the students of Hadith? Any of them here? I'm not going to put them on the spot. It's cool, inshallah. So he smacked them on the back. One of them smacked them on. They were in a ghazwa. They were doing some work. They were in a journey, and they were messing around how guys mess around sometimes. So he smacked them from behind. Ka'asahu. So right away, the Ansari got upset. And this is something we need to understand. See, the Muhajirun came from a different place. The Ansar had a different tabi'ah. One of the problems that we have in America is this place where all of these people from all across the world come together. And in this masjid, you'll have 30 different nationalities, 30 different languages. I was in a masjid 2 weeks ago. They did a poll on Jum'ah. There were 30 languages spoken by the congregants of Jum'ah. Now, what's the difficulty in that? The difficulty in that is that not everything you find as funny is funny to me in my culture. Your method of communication is very different from my method of communication. And as a community, we need to وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا مِن رَسُولٍ إِلَّا بِلِسَانِ قَوْمِهِ لِيُبَيِّنَ لَهُمْ. Every prophet came and spoke the language of a people, because the language shows that you truly understand people. I'll give an example. If anyone here has learned a second language, what's the last thing you understand in languages? Jokes. You ever learn English, like brothers learn English, you understand, you hear the joke, you don't laugh because you don't get the punchline. You just laugh because everybody else is laughing, like, yeah, that's funny, yeah. And then you look at all the words, you're like, I get it, but what's so funny? And the reason is because that takes a deeper level of comprehension and understanding. To understand the jokes and the humor and the pain and how people speak. I'll tell you a funny story. One day I was sitting in the masjid. I was still a talib al-ilm, and I was sitting with a new Muslim. And we were in a community like this in Buffalo. And it was in a rough area. Not like this area. It was in the hood. It was kind of a rough area. So it just so happened coincidentally, it was Ramadan, and there were a few muggings that were taking place around Buffalo. So one brother was walking to Fajr. He was walking to Fajr, and some youth jumped out of a car. They started to beat him up. Older brother. Alhamdulillah, there was one auntie. She was coincidentally looking out the window. Brother, she always looked out the window. All right, that's all she did. So she started screaming, and they ran away. The cops came. They're like, "You saved his life, mashallah." So this one brother comes in the masjid, and he's frantic. I'm sitting down with the new Muslim. Now this new Muslim was maybe like 4 months old in Islam. He's just learning the new lingo. He's just learning the new mashallahs, inshallahs. He's just learning. So brother comes in the masjid. He's frantic. He's like, "Mikaeel, brother, guess what just happened?" We're like, "What happened?" He's like, "Brother Shabir just got beat up." Now the new Muslim brother, he goes, "MashaAllah. MashaAllah. No, don't say that." Now, I know that this brother is just communicating what? He doesn't know how to say, inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. He doesn't know how to, express. He just knows a few of those Muslim terms. And he knows mashallah means the will of God. Maybe this is the right word to say right now. Mashallah. Now, Shabir Sahib, what do you think he did? MashaAllah, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. How dare you say MashaAllah? I'm like, subhanallah. You don't understand him, he don't understand you. Subhanallah. Cultural literacy is something masjids have to increase. Cultural literacy. Cultural literacy is difficult because you come from this gown, you saw Islam in this way. We're fighting legislation to keep immigration open, so more people coming in and more people accepting Islam. If we don't build cultural literacy, this person who gets right off the boat, comes to Darus Salam, sees someone praying, Allahu Akbar, hands to the side. He's like, what the heck is this? I just came from the gown, I only saw one Islam. So the community has to have the mechanisms in place to build cultural literacy amongst people in the masajid. As you fight for more open doors of immigration, that means this masjid is going to be more pluralistic, more diverse, more people who have never seen a diverse understanding of Islam coming and praying in this masjid. And on top of that, more new Muslims saying mashallah out of place. We have to build that cultural literacy. That will maintain that brotherhood. You'll understand that when this brother gives you something, that's his custom of saying in the highest form that he loves you. And you'll understand that certain nuanced things and certain customs mean different things. And we have to learn that as Muslims in America, because we have unique masjids that are so diverse, unlike any other country in the world. So that means we have to build that cultural literacy to preserve that brotherhood. But that brotherhood, brothers and sisters, that diversity strengthens us. If we protect it, it strengthens us. It gives us more to deal with. It gives us more perspectives. I'll give an example from the seerah and get right back to this, inshallah. The story of this Ansari who smacked the Muhajir who smacked the other on the butt. Now, the reason I brought this all up, because why is the Muhajir hitting him like that? He's just messing around. But the Ansaris don't play like that. Do you guys understand what's happening here? There's a cultural friction here. You know the other situation where the Muhajireen come, they say, Ya Rasulullah, our women are all talking back to us now. What happened? Well, they came to Medina. The Medina women have, talked back to their husbands. So as they start chilling with each other, they're like, yo, you don't talk back? Yeah, we talk back. Well, how do you do that? You say this. He ain't gonna do nothing because, So they're like, our women learned this from them. Cultures were there. This was a pluralistic society, Medina. Don't think of it as a monolith. It wasn't a monolith at all. So here he smacks him. Maybe that's the Muhajir way of messing around. Ansaris don't play like that. So the Ansari goes, Ya lil Ansar! Yo, boys, come on. And then the Muhajir's like, oh, word? Now Jahiliyyah kicked back in. And subhanAllah, this Jahiliyyah is in our masjids. We just do it in our own language. Starts talking Gujarati, Bengali. First it's Urdu, and we're all together. Then when there's some then we switch the language up. Like, all right, hold on. Because I just need y'all to know what I'm talking about right here. And me, my people, we just sitting there like, they all the same. Like when I went to high school. Anyways, so look what happened. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, faqala Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, ma bal da'wa jahiliyyah. What's this jahiliyyah going on? What's this jahiliyyah? Then Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, Da'uha, stop this. It stinks. He literally said, it stinks, this asabiyah, because it breaks away the thing that actually makes us so strong. Amazing. He did whatever he could to make sure that that jahiliyyah, that asabiyah didn't sneak back in. Because when the asabiyah comes back in, the unity is what comes apart. The unity is what breaks. Before I get into the next thing I want to talk about are the hukuk of brotherhood as per Imam Ghazali. I'm going to give you 8 or 9 hukuk of brotherhood. Rights of brotherhood, 8 or 9 of them. You're going to write them down, keep them, record them, snap them, Instagram them, I don't care. You're going to preserve it so that we can act upon it, inshallah. But before I go into that, I want to talk about one thing. As we talk, the difficulty with having a diverse community is when you see people practicing Islam differently, when you see people different from you, it challenges your own identity. You start to question who you are. Like, did I learn Islam correct back in the gown? Did I learn Islam back correct? Wait, why are they doing that? So the reason why much of America doesn't like the heavy diversity and they want that monolith is because seeing other people makes you think about yourself. It makes you question your own choices and makes you conscious about who you are ethically, morally, so on and so forth. What we have to do is this. Shaitan loves for us to see the differences between ourselves. Please understand this. Our responsibility is to not see the differences, but see what unites us. See what unites us. And you know when we do that, when there's a common threat or enemy, we automatically see what unites us. When there's a common threat. That's why I began tonight, I was saying, one of the best things that happened to us, except for the loss of life and all of those things, but one of the positive things that we saw from September 11th is that it made all of us come together. It was like Salafi, Sufi, this, that, this, like, yo, come, yo, we got to talk. Things about to go down right now. Forget all, leave all of that at the door. We got bigger fish to fry. But the moment there's no common threats and enemies, then you start, oh, his kufi's to the side. Like, you really noticed his kufi? Like his color. He doesn't wear a hard kufi, he only wears the soft ones. What? Really? Are you kidding me? Maybe we need the Mongols coming again to wake us up. So we really see like what's important here. So for us, what we have to do is stop seeing those small minutia differences and drop to that core. See, here's the deal. We all have the same purpose, but a different role to play in that purpose. That's it. You could tweet that one. We all have the same purpose, but a different role. What do I mean by that? The hadith. Al-mu'minuna karajulun wahid. The believers are like one human being. The role of the eyes is different from the role of the feet. The role of the feet is different from the role of the heart. But there's a unified purpose. You do you, I'm doing me, we're doing the same thing at the end of the day. Fahimtum? Samajh aa gaya? Oh yeah, oh gee. Hilarious, oh my God, subhanAllah. No, Mufti Sahib told me to drop the Urdu. He's like, yo, drop the Urdu once or twice, you gotta do it, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, alright, theek hai, ho gaya. Tamam? Theek hai shah? नहीं कोई बात नहीं है यार. I mean क्या है Friday कल के work है क्या? नहीं. We're going to get through these points inshallah. So the point being is, first of all, let's take some takeaway home points. Medina was a pluralistic, diverse culture, but despite that, the Prophet ﷺ created a brotherhood there. There were cultural literacy that had to be built in Medina, meaning people had to learn how to understand how different cultures communicate. The realization that in your masajid is that when you create programs, you create it in a way that welcomes other members of the community as well. Right? You don't just make all the food really, really spicy and then tell me I gotta get used to it. Really? You might as well just tell me to leave. Like, that means don't be you. Can I give you another beautiful example? The hadith of the lizard. One time Sahaba were eating lizard and the Prophet ﷺ was around, and they offered it to him, and he's like, no, I'm good. And now if the Prophet says no, what does that might mean? What might that mean? Haram, right? So they're like, Ya Rasulullah, is it haram? He's like, La, walakinna qawmi la ya'kul. Nay, 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 it's not haram, but my people don't eat that. Subhanallah. This is in the Arabs. He's with Arabs. He's not with like Chinese people. He's with other Arabs, and he's like, my people don't eat that. We don't eat that food. Look at the diversity being allowed there by the Prophet ﷺ himself. It's amazing. And now you like, gulab jamun chahiye nahi khata. Kya? Kyun? If someone came in the masjid, you gave him a date Ramadan, and he's like, I don't eat dates. What are you going to do? Ooh, now the fatwa's coming. Watch, the fatwa's coming. Well, Shaykh, that's kind of sunnah, so you know. No, seriously. I never ate a date before I became Muslim. I just never had a date. Like, it wasn't on the menu. We had apples, oranges, bananas. I never had dates. That was just pomegranate. That was in Conan. All right. The young guys don't even know what that is. The older guys who watch cartoons know that joke. Cool. Okay, khair. The point I'm trying to make is there was diversity there. The Prophet ﷺ fought to maintain that pluralism. And despite that pluralism, do you remember when a man came to dissuade the Prophet ﷺ from coming for Umrah? He stopped him. The name of the one who tried to stop him it slips my mind at the time. If someone remembers, they can tell me. But when he looked at the Sahaba and he saw how mixed, diverse they were, he right away saw that as a sign of weakness. He said, oh, these guys are going to all run away. And Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu hit his hand with the back of the sword really hard. And he said something hard to him. Everyone remember that story? But the thing he saw as weakness was their diversity. But when it came to the battle of Ahzab, what happened in the battle of Ahzab? One of the students, real quick, one of the students. Yes, with the glasses. What happened, real quick? Where was Salman Farsi from? Persia. Why was the ditch so unique? The Arabs had never heard about it. The Prophet ﷺ is saying, we're being attacked right now. What do we do? Everyone's like, oh no, let's just fight. Salman's like, wait, I'm from a different country. We had a different tactic we used. Well, what is it? We used to dig a ditch. Hey, what's a ditch? Like a ditch. All right, just show us. The cultural diversity brought new ideas to the table. The cultural diversity brought new ideas. Prophet's like, well, that's a great idea. We need more of you Persian guys here. Right? No, seriously. So my point being is that he allowed diversity and benefited from that there. All right, let's just go straight directly into what Imam Ghazali calls the hukuk of brotherhood. Hukuk of brotherhood. Why are we studying this? I'm asked the same brother. Why are we studying the hukuk of brotherhood? I said earlier about hukuk and blessings. Let me switch it up. Bilal Dar. Hukuk and blessings. What's the connection between them? Hukuk, a right. Something about all blessings have... Sorry to put you on the spot. Okay, so by learning those rights, what do? We preserve the blessing, exactly. So the idea, like your wife is a blessing, but she has hukuk, right? Your children are a blessing, they have hukuk. Your mal has a blessing. This blessing of brotherhood has hukuk that has to be preserved. What are they? You guys ready, inshallah? Taking notes, inshallah? Bismillah. Al-haq al-awwal, the first haq, fil mal, is in wealth. The first haq is in wealth. Now this haq has 3 levels. Write them all down. The lowest level is that you help your brother with his hajat with your extra wealth. The lowest. You help your brother with his hajat min ghayri, Imam Ghazali says, min ghayri an yuhwijahu ila su'al. Without him saying, Bhaijan, thoda sa paisa de. Without him asking. So first level of fil mal is what? Someone will give it back to me, inshallah. Extra wealth in your brother's necessities without him asking. That's important. Without asking. Fahimtum? Number 2. Imam Ghazali says that the second level of haqq, the second level up, let's go up, is that you treat him with your wealth as you. As you. Subhanallah. Y'all even want the third level? Do you even want the third level? You know, Imam Ghazali narrated a narration. Hasan Basri rahimahullah. No, listen to this. قال أبو جعفر الباقر لأصحابه. Listen to this. He said, أيدخل أحدكم يده في كم أخيه فيأخذ ما يريد. He's sitting with a gathering of people. He's like, okay, so would you allow your brother to reach in your pocket and take what you want? They're like, no. So he goes, قالوا لا قال فلستم بإخوان على ما زعمتم. You're not brothers. He says, when my jabe is your jabe. Subhanallah. Your mother. She reaches in, takes some money. What do you do? What should you do? I don't know. Like, hona chahiye. She's like, take it, Laylo, Joby. You're my mom. It's mine, is yours. Why are you even asking? This is the ukhuwah. This is the second level. Third level. You can guess it. What's your name, brother? Yeah. No, but in front of you. Nice to meet you, Arif. Saad. What's the next level? You tell me. What do you think it is? First level was what? Your extra money goes to the needs of your brother when he asks you for it. Second level was what? You're equal. Sawiyan fil mal. Hatta yani your jabe is his jabe. Third level. You put him above your necessities. I'm going to move forward a little quicker, inshallah ta'ala. How about this? Can we have an unofficial dars after? Yes, tonight. These brothers want everything. I came from Dallas, bro. I'm not going to just come tomorrow back and finish. I'll be here tomorrow, but not talking about this. I want to finish this, man. But I don't want to force anyone to stay too long. So officially, they've given me this 5 minutes. But I have a lot to give you. And it's Friday night. I mean, people out at the clubs until doing whatever, until they fall out. And we just got, it's too late. Neen are. Ji? Bismillah. There we go. Maan sahab, Mufti sahab, take it inshallah. Jo bhi jana hai jao. Ye kya haraj hai? Bas? Nahin? If you have to go, no doubt. If you have to go, you have responsibility. If your wife is going to get very, very mad, you got to tuck the kids in, I understand. No, they have haqq. But if you just want to sit and benefit, let's just keep going, inshallah. Is that okay? Huh? Okay, bismillah. All right. The next one. Haqq al-thani. That fil i'ana bin nafs fi qada' al-hajat. You use your physical self in fulfilling all the rights of your brother. Not rights. The needs. Hajat of your brother. First was money. This is about physical. You get up. Hey, you need help, bhai? Kya hai? Main aa raha hu. You know your brother, I'll give you an example. You know brother's moving and you put it on WhatsApp and nobody shows up? When you're moving, you see who your true brothers are. No, I'm not even joking. Because everyone gets busy when you're moving. That's the real test. Wallahi, you want to test people? Text, I'm moving. Who can come? And then when they come, give them a dawat. Subhanallah. So he says, the lowest level of this one is al-qiyam bihajat in the su'al. The lowest level of this one is that you help the person when they ask you. I'm moving, can you come? I'm on my way. And he says, لكن مع بشاشة والاستبشار. And you don't go with like a karwa mu. I'm here. You called me. No, he says bil bashasha. Yo, I'm here. Assalamu alaikum. What's up, bro? How you doing? I'm here. So that person doesn't even feel bad too. Like, all right, you just go. Just go. So he says with bashasha. Okay. Wa awsatuha. He said the second middle level is al-qiyam bi-hawa'ij la an su'al. That you fulfill the rights, like you look for their hajat without them asking. And you physically fulfill those and help them without them asking. And the highest level of this is, he says, is to put their hajat above your hajat. Brothers and sisters, Sahaba, I'm going to tell you one story. Prophet ﷺ says, I have a guest. Who wants to treat this guest? You know the story. You know the story. One Sahabi says, I got him. Come to my house. Goes home. Wife's like, we don't have food. Only for the kids. He says, okay, put the kids to sleep. I'm going to pretend to eat. He's going to eat. We'll put out the light so he doesn't realize. This is what we're talking about. We read that. We heard that before. Now I'm giving you it from a different perspective. Number 3. حق الثالث على اللسان بالسكوت. على اللسان, the second right is that your tongue doesn't speak in certain situations. Sukut, you hold the tongue. He says, and he says وَبِالنَّطْقِ أُخْرَى. So this one is about the tongue. There's times when you're going to have to not speak. Not speak. And there's other times when you have to speak for that person. So he gives examples of those I'm going to share with you right now. He says, أَمَّا السُّكُوتُ فَهُوَ أَنْ يَسْكُتْ عَنْ ذِكْرِ أُيُوبِهِ فِي حَضْرَتِهِ وَغَيْبَتِهِ. That you don't mention his aib, his uyub, in his presence or in his absence. That's the sukut. Everyone understand? What number is this? Number 3. The third right of your brother of brotherhood is the right of the tongue. And that is through sukut or bin nutq. Khamosh rehna, or being silent, or bin nutq, or speaking. Now what is the silence one? Well, not mentioning his faults in front of him. Tu hamesha ye kare, ye. Or when they're not there. Wo admi ye karta. Let me tell you real quick, just so I might not get the chance. Ghiba, don't let someone backbite in front of you about someone else. You know why? I'm sure you've heard this before from other scholars. The person that backbites with you will backbite you for sure. Just remember that. The person that backbites with you, when he's with someone else, he'll do the same thing. That's his principle. He has no principles. His principle is that he backbites. So here you are backbiting with him. Just know as you're laughing, in like a week he'll be with someone else doing it about you. So just close the door. No, I'm good, bro. I'm good. I know it's awkward sometimes. Even if it's an elder, sometimes you have to learn how to stop backbiting. I get questions from the shabab all the time. What do I do? My dad's backbiting. My uncle, my mom. Like there's adab, but I know he's backbiting right now. What do I do? Mushkil. It's hard. You have to find a way with adab to back out of that. But it's not easy sometimes. Khair. Let's go forward. So he says, فَفِي الْجُمْلَةِ, generally speaking, when it comes to this third right, brothers and sisters, يَنْبَغِي أَنْ يَسْكُتْ أَنْ كُلِّ كَلَامٍ يُقْرَى. Just don't speak what the person won't like. إِلَّا إِذَا وَجَبَ عَلَيْهِ نُطْقٍ فِي أَمْرٍ بِمَعْرُوفٍ. Now here's the other side of it. In the tongue, sometimes the right of your brother is that you actually speak up. If I'm doing wrong, الْأَخِلَّا يَوْمَئِذٍ بَعْضُهُمْ لِبَعْضٍ عَدُوٌّ إِلَّا الْمُتَّقِينَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says on that day friends will be enemies of each other. And one of the reasons is if you see me doing something wrong and you're a true brother, what do you do for me? And you let me know, you try to stop me. Because you're like, yo man. I'll give you an example. You know, you're going to school, going to class, you just, ate something and you got something right here, Darakh mein bulbul hai, I used to say, right? There's something in the beard. Now some people will just look at you like, hey, how you doing, man? You walk around the whole campus and they didn't say anything. One of your friends, the first thing he'll do, he'll pull it out. Or he'll be like, hey, you got something there. Jazakallah. You hurt my feelings, but you saved me. You helped me. So the idea is that the true friend doesn't do mudahana. Mudahana is a dangerous thing. Mudahana is when you overlook the bad people are doing. You just let them go. Sycophancy. You just let it go. No, you speak up. Khair. فهمتم إن شاء الله. طيب. Okay, the next one. Number 4, صح? Number 4, actually Imam Ghazali rahimahullah, it's connected to the third one. He says, على اللسان بالنطق فإن الأخوة كما يقتضي السكوت عن المكروه يقتضي النطق بالمحبوب بل هو أخص الأخوة. He says that the fourth one is that connected to the tongue, that you speak when necessary. So the third one was only not speaking, and the fourth one was that you speak when necessary, and I already explained that to everyone, inshallah ta'ala. Number 5. Al-afu an zallat. We have a culture of not accepting faults of people in our country. The moment a scholar, a person, someone does something, we grab it. We grab it. We share it. No mistakes accepted. A character assassination, done. He says here, afwal and zallat. One of the rights of ukhuwa is to be able to let go of slips. There's a poem in Arabic, likulli jawadin zalla. Like, what's the poem? Like, every steed has a slip. Every stallion has a slip too, where it slips up for a moment, but it's still a stallion. It still runs well, but it slipped. So he says here that the next one is that number 5, is that we learn how to overlook zallat. فَقَالَ أَحْوَجُ مَا Subhanallah. He said, your brother needs you the most many times when they slip up. They do something haram, they do something bad, and you just like, yo man, astaghfirullah, da-da-da-da-da-da. Sometimes they need you the most at that moment. They need that love and affection from you the most. Where you're like, yo bro, I understand man. Yo, don't do it again, but yo, I understand man. Let's go, you're good, yo, it's gone, it's done. Yo, it's done. Allah forgives. You move them forward. So he said, it's so beautiful. He said, أحوج ما كان إلي الآن. He said a person was seen with one of his friends that had did something wrong. And they said, why are you still with Fulan? You know he did that? And he said, أحوج ما كان إلي الآن. Now's when he needs me the most. I'm not going to leave him now. Subhanallah. Number 6. Subhanallah. Very seldom do we do this. Dua لأخيك في حياته وبعد مماته بكل ما تدعو به لنفسك. You make dua for that person. And I hate to narrate this hadith sometime from this perspective, but you know the hadith that says when you make dua for someone else, the angels make this dua, وَلَكَ مِثْلٍ وَلَكَ مِثْلٍ. I don't like to narrate it right away because sometimes it creates this, again, it's about me again. It's about me again. The Prophet ﷺ is just telling us an extra fadila of making dua. The incentive is not like, oh Allah, give him a pious wife, 2 of them, 3, maybe even 4 if he wants them, Ya Allah. And the whole time you're like, angels, come on, angels. Angels, please. Thank you. No, the hadith is just telling us an extra incentive that this happens too. The pure intention is, Abdullah needs my dua. And whatever I raise my hand and make dua for, it's mustajib, it's accepted. It's accepted. And you don't have to tell the brother either, after you make, hey brother, I made dua for you. No. Don't mess up the ikhlas. Do it purely, and that's it, inshallah ta'ala. What number is that? Number 7. You know, somebody is your friend for like 10 years, 7 years. They make one mistake. Done. Done. Imam Ghazali, he says, al-wafa wal-ikhlas. Al-wafa, stay true. The Prophet ﷺ used to take care of a woman and send her gifts because she knew Khadija. For years after. Because of that one joy, that one connection. He maintains the relationship because she was close to Khadija. Now 20 years later, he's still giving gifts to her, sending her things, sending her food, sending her money, sending her this. So he says, al-wafa, to stay true over time. Don't stop a relationship because one slip up, one mistake, oh, I'm done now. No, realize that time will be tested, things will happen, but stay true to those relationships. And then number thamin, Imam Ghazali rahimahullah ta'ala, he says, tark at-takalluf with taklif. We all know takalluf. Alright, that's like a basic Urdu word. Tark at-takalluf with taklif. Don't do takalluf with your brothers and sisters. Don't do takalluf, formalities. Don't do takalluf with them. And don't put them through taklif as well. Don't put them through taklif as well. Extra burden on them. That's number 8. Okay? So what we just went through, I'm going to ask one brother who wants to give them back to me, inshallah ta'ala. Who wants to say them all to me? Someone, bismillah. I'm going to call on someone like the teacher always does. Bismillah, go ahead. Huh? You can look at him, yeah. So the first one was helping out through wealth, and that has 3 levels. We should at least be at the lowest level. Go ahead. In wealth, correct? All right, next one. Physically. So happily when they ask, I'm there, labaik. Me'arum. Come. No, putting their needs, helping them physically with their needs before yourself. Yeah, go ahead. Next one. So the tongue, number 4 and 5 are the tongue. What's the first one? Yes, so just think of it this way. Your tongue, sukut. The silence is sometimes what you owe your brother in brotherhood. Keep going. Yes, not just allowing bad to happen. Many times because of a friendship, you don't want to threaten the friendship, so you just allow haram to happen. Like, I'm going to just act like I didn't see that. No, that's mudahana. That's called literally mudahana. You know the word mudahana has a root word. What's the 3-letter root word? Dahana. What does duhan mean? Oil. You know how you say butter someone up? It literally in Arabic, same exact thing. To butter someone up. Oh, yeah, you're good, you're great. You're excellent. You don't mean he's excellent. He's horrible. But you're just saying that so you can get some benefit. The word in Arabic is mudahana. From the word duhan, we use the same thing in Arabic to butter someone up. Go ahead. Yes, allowing people to make mistakes. We have a culture of looking for mistakes and then putting them on blast. Just look at the last few years in Muslim Americans. We find one slip up, there it is, there's our chance now. Done, let's take them down. Put it on blast. SubhanAllah. Go ahead. Which one was that? What number was that? 6? Okay, go ahead. Exactly. Now listen up. Imam Sha'rani rahimahullah, he wrote a book called Al-Anwar fi Adab al-Suhbah in al-Akhyar, in which he wrote 60 hukuk of brotherhood. I gave you 8 of Imam Ghazali. It's been translated in English as well. The Etiquettes of Friendship, I think it's on Amazon. The Arabic, you can find the PDF of Imam Sha'rani called Al-Anwar fi Adab al-Suhbah in al-Akhyar. I know it's late, but I have a little bit more I want to give you, inshallah ta'ala. And as you say in Urdu, kaam ki cheez hai. It's very beneficial for you, inshallah. We're talking about brotherhood, and one of the aspects that is necessary is difference of opinion. We all know that. That's the first thing I learned as a convert. There's difference of opinion. But how do we handle debate and discussion, and when should we engage in debate and discussion? Understand my question? We have difference of opinion. You say moon sighting. I'm just giving this example. It's just I'm cherry picking an example. I'm just picking this for the sake of ease. You say moon sighting local. You say calculations. Oh, now we start arguing in the foray right there. We just start talking about it. Let me bring my dalil. Let me bring your dalil. What are the conditions for discussion and debate on issues? Because we want to maintain brotherhood, it's important to understand when we should engage in this type of debate. Imam Ghazali rahimahullah gives us 9 conditions for debate. I'm going to drop them on you very quick in the next 15 minutes max. Inshallah? Inshallah. So these are the conditions when you should engage in debate. When you find all 8 of these, it's time to go forward. Understand? It's okay to go forward when you find all 8 of these. If you don't find these, keep it moving. Go do something else. Busy yourself with something. Number 1, the first condition is that ألا يشغل به وهو من فروض الكفاية من لم يتفرغ عن فروض الأعيان. First condition. If you have any fardul ayn that you're not doing, you can't start this fardul kifaya. First one. Okay, let me explain for everyone. In Islam, we have 2 types of rulings. One type of ruling is fardul ayn. One type of ruling is fardul ayn. What does that mean? Everyone has to do it, right? Fardul kifaya, some people have to do it. Some people are involved in debate, which is fardul kifaya, and they're not even praying fajr. They're not doing fardul ayn. So the first thing Imam Ghazali rahimahullah ta'ala, he says, is that you are not missing any fardul ayn while you're trying to do this fardul kifaya. Fahimtum? Number 2, that there's no other fardul kifaya that you're leaving out. Meaning, if there's other fardul kifaya that you could be handling that are more important, you should be handling them before you get into a debate with someone. So look at other fardul kifaya. The first one was look at fardul ayn. The second was look at other fardul kifaya. Number 3, أن يكون المحاور أو المناظر يفتى برأيه لا بمذهب فلان and فلان. This is one of the most important ones. You cannot, Imam Ghazali says, you cannot get into a debate with a person who doesn't know proofs themselves and is only following their teacher. I'll give you an example. Someone comes to me and argues a mas'ala. I'm like, bro, go talk to Imam Abu Hanifa. I'm good, yo. Why are you arguing with me? Everyone didn't get that one yet. Your beef, if you come and debate to me about where my hands go, I'll give you an example. Your beef isn't with me because I'm a muqallid. Your beef is with Abu Hanifa. Go talk to him. So what happens is you have people always going to people and debating them, but this guy isn't a person you should be debating because he's just following his teacher. Has everyone understood this one? Extremely important. It will save your time in life. I'm giving you like this will give you the just walk out the masjid like, yo, I'm good, Assalamu alaikum. Does everyone understand that? Has anyone not understood this one? Please. Someone, come on. Everyone understood it? Tayyib, inshallah, mashallah, alhamdulillah. So if that person is not giving fatwa bi ra'yihi, now if I come up and give my own fatwa, like, oh yeah, I think this is this. Now you go, okay, yeah, let's talk about it, sir. But if I'm just following someone, go to that guy's teacher, talk to that. Now the funny thing is you'll see two students arguing with each other. You'll see two students, he's student of Shaykh Fulan, he's student of Shaykh Fulan, these dudes arguing each other. SubhanAllah, what kind of jahiliyyah is this? Ajib. And the two sheikhs are boys. Two sheikhs are cool. They're like, oh, what's up, man? How's it going? Yeah. These dudes arguing with each other. SubhanAllah. What number was that? Number 4. This is important. Debate for the sake of hypotheticals should not happen, according to Imam Ghazali. Hypotheticals, they didn't happen yet. Why are you wasting your life on these? This is what Imam Ghazali says. Hypothetical, I know the whole Hanafi madhab was based on this, but anyways. He says hypotheticals. Does everyone understand? He says if it didn't happen yet, no need for us to get into a debate over it. Why waste your time on it? It's Imam Ghazali's number, which one? 4. So it's actual real situation that happened. Next one, number 5. أن تكون المناظرة في الخلوة أحب إليه وأهم من محافل وبين أظهر الأكابر والسلاطين. He said that the debater should love a secret debate over a public open debate. No, I only debate you if the whole place is packed. I want to see everyone to see you lose. No, he said that he loves just me and you. And if you read about Imam Abu Hanifa and others meeting together in Medina, they sit together after Isha and they're talking, it's just them two until Fajr Adhan. They didn't call everybody out, hey everyone listen up, we're about to talk. Hey, so listen. No. So, but let me qualify this, because we have some, alhamdulillah, people doing great work of deen here that are debating and defending the deen. There can be definitely, without doubt, a shadow of a doubt, a benefit of public debating. Public debating. This is about the heart of the debater. This is about your heart. Is your heart at that level where you love the silent debate just as well, because the point is to reach truth? That's what we're going to get to next. Let's go forward. What number was that, brothers and sisters? And he says, subhanAllah, he says privacy is more suitable for thinking clear. You know, if you're debating publicly and you catch me in a logical, conundrum, what am I going to do? Entrench. Everyone understand if I'm proven wrong in front of this whole room, what am I going to do? I'm going to dig in my heels. Robert Cialdini, he writes in Persuasion that one of the ways they get people to buy more things is to just one time attest to something. One time write it. Once you've written or said it one time, because of the desire to look, what's the word? Consistent, thank you. The desire to be consistent, a person will entrench themselves. Even if everything is pointing the wrong way, they just entrench. So the public debater, when he's proven wrong publicly, if he was by himself, he would do what? Oh man, yeah, that's great. Wow, good point. But now I'm in front of 100 people, what am I going to do? No, you're still wrong. Understand this point? Cool, let's go to the next one, number 6. أن يكون الحوار, we're almost done, we're only doing 9 of them. أن يكون الحوار في طلب الحق. That the debate should just be about finding truth. And he says that the person should be trying to find truth just as if they lost something. It's not about you as a personality, it's about us looking for the truth. And I'll give you one quote and move to the next one. Imam Shafi used to say, whenever I discuss a mas'ala, I say in my heart, oh Allah, make the truth come on that brother's heart, not on that person's tongue, not on my tongue. He used to make this dua. Oh Allah, let the truth show on this person's tongue, the truth. Because the point is the truth, not you or not me. Fahimtum? طيب, next one. The number 7. He says, ألا يمنع مناظره ومحاورة من انتقال من حجة إلى حجة ومن دليل إلى دليل. He says, if it's a true in the spirit of debate, allow the interlocutor to move away from a proof that they already stated. Ajib, very hard in a public debate. So the point is, you catch someone in a wrong proof, and you say, well, you're saying this, it means this. And they'll go, oh, well, let me change that. But if it's a proper public debate, like, no, stay there, let me knock you out. Stay right there, hold on. Stay, you said this, now, here's the conclusion to that, knocked out. He says, no, allow the person to say, you know what, no, I think that may be wrong. All right, let me change that a bit. Understand? Okay, next one. ألا يناظر أو يحاور إلا ما يتوقع الاستفادة منه. Don't debate people unless you know that this person has faida for you. You know, subhanallah, I went to study for a little short time with Hamza Zortes in England, and he told us a story. He was going to debate someone, and on the way out, some like undergrad dude wants to kind of debate him. So he's like, who are you? And he just kept going. He's like, I'm debating this guy because there's faida in it. I'm not just going to pick a debate with every single person on the road. So Imam Ghazali, he's saying that the person has to be someone that you see there's a faida, a benefit that you can gain from that discussion with that person. If he's jahil, just leave it, no point. What number was this? Was it 9? Oh, come on, guys. Okay. All right, we're wrapping it up right now, inshallah ta'ala. Yeah, that's the last one, inshallah ta'ala. Brothers and sisters, it's been a long night. I went well past my time. I really wanted to share all of this information with you. The key to our communal growth is to create a community based on brotherhood. With argumentation and dispute, we won't have brotherhood. The Prophet ﷺ says the first sign that a nation, a group of people is going off is they start arguing. Give up arguing. Da'uha, give it up. And leave it to those people who are specialized in it. Let them do it. The rest of us, get on with our lives. Leave the argumentation. Second thing, learn the rights of brotherhood. The same way a man getting married needs to learn the rights of his wife, the same way a woman who is getting married needs to learn the rights of her husband, similarly, we have to learn the rights of brotherhood as a community. Study those. I gave you 8 of them. Scholars have written a lot on them. Come to me after. I'll share the book with you if you know Arabic. And you can sit with any of these tulabul ilm and read the book with them, inshallah. Chicago has so many ulama, mashallah ta'ala. And understand this blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let's make a short dua, inshallah, and wrap it up, inshallah ta'ala. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Allahumma laka alhamdu kullu wa laka shukru kullu wa ilayka yarju al-amru kullu alaniyata wa sirru. Allahumma laka alhamdu hatta tarda wa laka alhamdu idha radid wa laka alhamdu ba'da ar-rida. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Ya Allah, we ask you to join our hearts together, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, we ask you to take out ikhtilaf and argumentation from our communities, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, we ask you to make us like that hadith where your beloved Prophet ﷺ said, Al-mu'minuna karajulun wahid. Ya Allah, give us the reality of that, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, reward all of those who spent extra time staying here tonight to learn more about your deen, Ya Rabbil Alameen, and give us the ability to act on everything we learned about, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Allah, give us the reward for everything that was said tonight, everything that we learned, and give us the ability to make intention, Ya Rabbil Alameen, to act upon it. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wa salamun ala al-mursaleen. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Jazakallahu Khair, everyone, for staying late. Jazakallahu Khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.